Hello friends, this is Anna, and this time I'm not going to welcome you to another practice diary entry video because we're not going to be practicing today. Instead, I'm going to be answering a few questions about my life in Finland. If it hasn't been clear up until now from different videos or video descriptions, I am an immigrant in Finland. A tiny bit of this background as shortly as I can, just to give an insight to some of the questions that I'm going to be answering today. I am born and raised in Athens. I studied to be a nurse there. Immediately when I graduated, I came to Finland and I studied Finnish for 1 year. And then I worked for something like 2.5, 3 years as a nurse. Then I decided to change career paths, and now I'm a music pedagogy student majoring in classical singing in Savonia, University of Applied Sciences. So I've had a few friends asking me questions about my life in Finland. I asked through Instagram and I got some really good ones. So let's see. First question, why Finland? That is a question that I have been getting quite a lot actually, especially when people hear that I'm from Greece. They're like, why did you leave Greece to come to Finland? What is so interesting about this? And basically, if I go all the way back in my history, I think that a classmate of mine from nursing school would be the reason why I'm here today. On the fourth and the final year of my studies in nursing school, I had the opportunity to go abroad as part of the Erasmus program, and I do remember that we had 3 countries available. For the love of me, I can never remember which was the third country, but the other 2 were the UK. And I was interested to go to Erasmus with one more classmate, as I called her, Martina. I wanted to go to the UK because of the language, and she had traveled there before, so she wasn't really interested. But she was really interested to come to Finland because of the metalheads and the darkness. That's what she said, not me. So she wanted to experience something different, and I thought, well, since we both want to experience Erasmus, then we should probably just stick together and be there for each other if anything happens. And so that is why we came to Finland. Then I fell in love with the country. I fell in love with my then boyfriend, now husband, as well at the same time. And I just wanted to make such a bold move, like moving abroad while I'm still young, without family of my own and so on. And that is why I came to Finland. So cheers and congratulations to Martina. She's the reason why I'm here today. Next question. These are pretty similar questions. One of them was, how did you learn Finnish? And the other one is, has studying in Finnish ever caused difficulties? I studied Finnish for 1 year as part of a program for immigrants, integrating them into the Finnish society. So they talked a lot about, well, Finnish language, like grammar, vocabulary, all aspects of the language. They try to sort of integrate also, or include some cultural courses per se in the whole program. The school was every day from Monday to Friday for 5 or 6 hours each day, so kind of like elementary school per se in Greece. What helped me with learning and learning well was A, that it was exactly like every single day, so there was a whole routine based on this, and B, that all the teachers spoke 99% of the time in Finnish alone. I do remember that I dove in right in the dark waters and it was pretty hard. I have to say that it was really hard. I think it took me something like 5 months of mimicking and repetition, and like I was taking it pretty seriously. I was studying at home a lot, and I kind of wanted to feel like I was being part of a group, because even common friends of my boyfriends and mine weren't so, like, I could feel that they wanted to be friendly, but they weren't so comfortable with speaking in English to me. And I really wanted to learn Finnish in order to belong somewhere and start making friends of my own or becoming stronger friends with the ones already existing and make them feel more comfortable. So I really, really made an effort. And I think it took me something like 4 or 5 months until the first time that something actually clicked in my head. It was a really, really small grammar thing, but I just remember almost hearing the gear in my head, kind of like click, and then everything started gradually becoming easier. I think it's a great way if you are in a foreign country to take language lessons immediately, and the more often you can, the better. And I definitely recommend you take them without any helping languages, without English, because you will always on some level depend on English if you don't just throw yourself out there per se, just like take the leap and try your best 100% in Finnish. It also kind of helped that many of the people at school actually didn't speak English, so I had to make an effort to communicate in any way. It really builds up the motivation and the willpower, if that makes sense. Next question. Have you experienced inequality in Finland? I'm very happy to say that I have not. I'm probably very lucky that I have not, and things have usually gone my way. There have been a couple of setbacks, a couple of times when I was unemployed and in between jobs. I was really searching, but I kind of felt that maybe despite of my experience in a certain field, I didn't inspire trust because I was a foreigner. But it might just also be in my head. No one really said to my face anything ever. They did not discriminate, and I do not think that anyone has treated me differently in Finland or has treated me unfairly because of my nationality. People have been very curious, especially when I was a nurse, because I was dealing with a lot of elderly people. They were asking questions pretty much all the time. They were asking where I was from, they were asking how long I've been in Finland, they were asking if I'm married. They were always trying to advertise Finnish guys as like the perfect partners or something, I don't know. But and they would even ask some more personal questions, but overall 99.9% of the time, if not 100%, I've had good experiences with communicating with other people in Finland. No problem whatsoever. In general, I would probably say that Finnish people are pretty fair and very polite. Obviously, other people like refugees or people from other countries than like outside of the EU will probably face more difficulties with paperwork, with bureaucracy. So you might want to be mentally prepared for that and do your research before coming to Finland. Then I have some questions which are also the last ones, and they're relating more to my job and my work experience. How did it feel to change profession or career from the healthcare field to music? The time period from when I decided that I wanted to apply until my entrance exams, basically, were very stressful. It caused me a lot of insecurity because I was about to let go of the comfortable salary that I had up until then and dive into something completely new and different. But on the other hand, it felt very liberating, very freeing, because for a long time as a nurse, I felt extremely tired all the time. I could not focus on any of my hobbies and the things that I actually liked to do. And I always brought work to home. In general, I would say that I didn't feel very accomplished or appreciated for my efforts. And I think that we are asking a lot of nurses constantly, but we don't give them something back. Whether that is a raise in their salary or just some sort of different appreciation. The lack of appreciation drove me away, because I think it is true for most nurses. No matter how much they try and they bust their butt off doing so much work. They barely get what they deserve in the end. In that sense, it felt actually liberating to go from one field to the other. I remember during the spring, right before I took the entrance exams, I was working 8 or 9 hours a day. And then I always went to the library to study 1 or 2 hours because I had to study theory and learn the terminology in Finnish for the first time. I hadn't studied it for 15 years, something like that. So it was crazy. Very, very tiring, but it felt awesome. It actually even kept me more energized. And when I thought that, oh my God, imagine the future if I'm actually like in the music field and also like able to become a teacher, because I also really like teaching. I have been teaching Greek at the local community college since 2017, and it started out as purely a hobby. Just I had a very comfortable salary, but I just wanted a hobby of it. So in the end, I ended up liking it so much that I thought moving in such a field would be much, much better for my personality. And so far, I think I have been right. I have not regretted this one bit since I've come to Savonia. It's really great to be here and doing what I do right now. Did it require any practical arrangements? Well, technically, yeah. I mean, I did have to study theory, as I said, to pass the entrance exams. I had to pass some examination also in singing before I applied to the uni, kind of like an elementary level examination in singing, classical singing. Concerning language requirements, I actually didn't have to take any tests for that, luckily. And the Swedish that people are studying here, I don't have to take, since I have never studied Swedish before, like in high school, and before that, like Finnish people do. I don't have to take it now either. So I guess it wasn't that complicated to apply in the end. Last question. What kind of career prospects do you see ahead of you? The music field is so vast. I have a million different options, to be honest. What interests me the most is teaching, and I would also be looking forward to becoming a music therapist in the future. I would probably like to work as a music therapist and open my own business, or collaborate with some other therapists. I think that is one solid idea that I have, because I know that we need music therapists in Finland. Other than that, I could always just work as a classical singing teacher at a, for example, conservatory, music center. I could also become a classical singer and perform. I could always try to make my studies longer, either in Savonia or conservatory or Sibelius Academy or anywhere, just apply absolutely anywhere and always just study more in depth. I guess those are the main ones. What interests me the most is the music therapy, but I would absolutely love to have some performing experience as much as I can. And teaching is lovely as well. I definitely care about it a lot. It gives me a lot of joy to teach. So there are a lot of plans and a lot of things and a lot of different options. I don't really have to worry per se, because there's so much that I could do if something doesn't work out. I can always find another door. So at this point, I have pretty much answered everything for this time. If there's anything that I want anyone watching to take from this, from my experiences, is to believe in their skills as much as they can, because that was a huge problem for me, not believing in myself and being too criticizing. Do your research beforehand, plan ahead, learn the native language as fast as you can. try new things, try new hobbies, try different options professionally, and just know that it's a long process to be integrated into new society. So you might take one step forward and two steps back, and that is usually the reality of it. But that's how life is. You cannot do much about that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have learned something interesting or useful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!